online cheating and grooming me into sleeping with men. So she's having a conversation to him about what he did to her with the apple pies from the other guys.
I decided that this is what my boyfriend has always wanted, and I think that he, could we do... I was so unbelievably drunk, and I was also on my period, and he was like, yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we are locked and loaded and back in the chamber with yet another Larry cucking wheels situation. So we're going to head over to John Bravo's channel over here in a quick second. And understand this, guys, before we continue on in the content, the purpose here is not to cuck shame or to kink shame, because even now with the stuff that John Bravo was coming out with, additional messages, and then also there's this other young lady that was involved in Larry's life that talks about the introduction to the cuck lifestyle. Although we're going to be going through all of that, it's really not to kink shame or to cuck shame, whatever term that you want to use, but to understand how is it that we got here? How is it that Larry Wheels got here? And the thing is that the introduction of performance enhancers within your life at the tender young age of, I think he started at like 16 or 17 years old, it completely messed him up. Now, from a physical perspective, it made him one of the strongest men walking on this planet. But from a mental perspective, it completely destroyed his mind. In fact, I have a quick clip here of Larry describing how it destroyed his mind.
What do you think is the dark side of taking steroids that fitness influencers don't really talk about?
Well, for me, the darkest side has been libido. As a young man, our libido is through the roof if you're healthy. But when you take things like testosterone and androgens that exacerbate that, it can become a serious distraction.
So let's continue to put a spotlight on this behavior and see what it is that we can learn or extract from this situation. Let's get active. Without further ado.
So he went on the Bradley Martin podcast that they broke up because she cheated on him. In the meantime, he wanted her to, and here he's admitting it.
And so woke up the next day, and he had obviously read the messages on his phone where I told him that I'd hooked up with someone. He came downstairs, kissing, hugging. I love you so much. You are amazing. Da, 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 da. And I was feeling so much like I was feeling about myself. And he was like, look, I understand if you don't want to do it again, but if you do, like, I would really want you to get video footage of it.
Oh, they're going crazy now. What's up, wife?
Why are you filming me?
Because I have a surprise for you. Yeah, I think it's one you will like, too.
Wait, Annie, you pick him up.
Yeah, of course she's gonna like it, because she knows exactly what
Sharmuta
it's
Wheels
gonna
is
be.
crazy.
You see it?
I am.
But you can't see it just yet. You gotta close your eyes.
Bro?
Yeah, he wants her to close her eyes so she doesn't see the train that's coming for her, that asshole.
Hold on, let me put my shoes on.
Okay, give her a second. Put the shoes on.
She don't need her shoes, because all that shit's about
Larry
to come
the
off
third
anyway.
wheel.
Where do I go?
Okay, just, I'll guide you. Go left. All right. Wait, stop. You ready?
Yeah. Come on, let me see it.
I love seeing her die in anticipation.
No, I'm impatient.
So wait a second. Do you know what I thought the surprise was? 500 men lining up outside, ready to run a train on her ass like Bonnie Blue. Just like that cuckold's dream that he wanted with this last girl. But it turns out, it wasn't a train.
It looks like at the top it says, I don't have any malicious intent towards you. That's probably sent by Larry. Then she responds, Larry, after you shopped and found Jay, who you knew that I was chatting to, you said that it is a cuck's dream. Okay, let's proceed. I've been so respectful, even though it's taken me over 2 years to fully heal from all of the BS of manipulation, P addiction, online cheering, and grooming me into sleeping with men. I haven't said a word to anyone. I hate looking at text messages like this that reframes what you enjoyed from a multimillionaire while you were in a relationship with him. It's not grooming if you're an adult, but you made an adult decision, understanding what was the cost of admission. Listen, adults manipulate adults all of the damn time. And it's not to say that it won't take you time to heal from manipulation. But the standard of proof that's necessary to accuse someone of grooming you, who's your same age, at what point do the women that benefit from being around these men with these weird-ass kinks take some accountability for their actions? Let's go.
This girl. But it turns out, it wasn't a train. It was a Bentley. But she didn't like it anyway.
Really?
Whoa. Damn, it's a new one.
A new one. That's like
Damn.
250, 300, 369.
That's my new baby, huh?
Our new baby.
That's a price for me.
He's probably leasing it.
They didn't have burnt orange one though.
Yo.
What do you mean?
The color.
Burnt orange exterior?
Yeah.
I looked everywhere for it. There was no burnt orange.
We can wrap it.
You're not happy with the color that it is right now?
It's okay.
Yeah, but he likes
I'm
that.
joking, Chuck. I'm gassed. I'm just joking.
No, but-
Hopefully that gets clipped. So
There's truth in every joke. She goes, oh, there's no burnt orange? Bentley don't even make that shit.
Dog. Here's the thing, though. The argument for manipulation can be made on the same angle, right? She's manipulating him into doing more for her. The same thing can be said, but at the same time, the same argument applies. Larry needs to take responsibility for setting himself up for manipulation. And she knows that inevitably he likes that shit. He likes to get disrespected, and that's what fed his 5-figure-a-day addiction on these corno websites. But no matter what it is simply pathetic, a standard that no man should live their life by.
I'll take one for sure.
This guy's a creep.
So it looks like Larry the third wheel is still simping and cucking his way around town like a asshole. He's going on podcasts again, lying out of his ass. And you would think by now he would have learned from his mistakes and stop lying, especially with me on his ass, right? But no, it's in his DNA. This piece of can never stop lying, no matter how many times I catch his ass. So you know what I had to do? I had to open up those Larry files again, no matter how much I had inside me telling me not to do it, because I had to find out the truth, and I had to dig deeper than we know. Larry likes to dig inside for those apple pies to get that truth. Wait until I show you what I found.
All right, let's go. Let's go, John. The boogeyman on these internet streets.
Early 20s, like where sexual thoughts were like obsessive. You know, when my mind wasn't occupied, it just went to sex. And it became a real problem where, like with any addiction, you know, a pair of boobs, for example, blows your mind. But then after a few months of looking at that same pair of boobs, like you need something more potent to get the same rush. So I wanted to get custom videos and like have these girls act out these crazy fantasies of mine, because like I was getting so overstimulated. I needed like these crazy kinky stuff to get.
So as you saw, Larry the asshole bought his Sharmuta girl a $370,000 Bentley, right? Even though that bougie bitch didn't like the color, he still bought it for her, right? But you would think, you know, when your friend Daniel, $50,000, he was your friend. Instead of paying him back some of that money, you buy the Sharmuta a gift that she didn't appreciate. And you know what that reminds me of? I mean, they always say, what's the quickest way to lose a friend? Lend them money, right? Because they're never going to pay that shit back. You never hear from them again, right? Well, how many times? Maybe you experienced it yourself, or you've heard stories. You lend somebody, a friend, a close friend, money, then all of a sudden, he's not paying that shit back, and you see them driving around in fancy things, buying all this stuff, right? You would think that they would be kind enough to pay you back the money instead of buying and spending the money on stupid shit, because you were nice enough to lend them the money because they were in a bad spot.
That's what you
think. But
think,
no, they don't do those things. And Larry, he's doing that same shit. So the other day, I saw Larry the third wheel, because we know how much he loves being that wheel, on a podcast with Bradley Martin. I wanted to watch it because I wanted to see what lies I can catch him in, right? And then he starts going off and talking shit about his ex, Nicole Drinkwater, saying that she was going on podcasts, saying his name and talking shit about him.
What's up with one of your ex-girlfriends like going on podcasts and just like running her mouth about it?
Dude,
Like,
she's been dragging my name for years now.
you helped her in a lot of ways. I don't think there's a way to deny that.
I think I did help her significantly, and she was at a point where she wasn't making any cash doing PT. I put her onto OF by doing collabs with her that got millions of views. She ended up becoming basically a millionaire, and now she still does it and lives a good life because of it. But now I'm the guy that's the villain, and she's dragging my name ever since. Doesn't feel right. Like, I feel like I contributed to her financial success significantly, and it's like me going and attacking you after you helped me so much with my bread.
So when I saw that, I wanted to find out, is this true? So I went to Nicole's Instagram, right? And I saw some clips of her talking shit about some ex-boyfriends.
This is insane. Like, this man is giving me the most attention that he's ever given me in our whole entire relationship.
And then he goes to Bradley, he goes, you know, years ago when I was on the podcast, I talked shit about Nicole Drinkwater, and I regret doing it because I said that she cheated on me, and I wish I never did it.
And I think what triggered her is when I said something about her here, and I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
And I think that was what started that. Like, oh, well, he went and dragged my name, so now I'm going to do the same to him. I think that's what started.
So I went to see if I could find the original clip of where Larry was saying that Nicole Drinkwater was a cheater.
My ex, I was ready to engage, but shortly before, you know, I learned that she wasn't ready, right? So that was that, right?
Like, she told you, I'm not ready. Or you...
I did some snooping and found out she wasn't ready.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's so annoying.
You know, but
you found some shit out.
I found some shit out, right? And basically she wasn't ready, but it all happened for the best, right? Because that door closed, another open. And what I have with my fiance now is something that I thought, you know, you only see on Netflix.
So when I saw that, I go, you know, it's time for me to see if this is another one of Larry's lies. Did Nicole Drinkwater really cheat on Larry? Was it one of his cucking ways stories? What was it? So, like I told you in the beginning, I had to dig into those sick Larry files because I remembered when I was originally reading them, I found some things about this situation. But the interesting part is, I didn't just catch Larry with one lie. I caught him with two. And now let me go over them with you. All right, so now it's time to...
This obviously doesn't make any sense because if you remember the last text messages that we went over, Larry, he liked women to be messing with other dudes. So to say that you broke up with your ex because she cheated or was messing with another dude doesn't seem to be congruent, but let's proceed.
dig through those Larry files again, even though you guys know I don't want to, because I remembered about this situation and now I'm going to read you what I found. All right, so this is a message here from Nicole Drinkwater to Larry. Larry, why did you say that on Bradley's podcast about me? Larry goes, what did I say? I was super tired, probably said something I don't mean. She goes, go take a look. I've respected you so much and you basically insinuated things. I snooped and found out. I ended it with you for a very good reason and I've stayed quiet this entire time. I've been so respectful, even though it's taken me over 2 years to fully heal from all the bullshit of manipulation, pornography, online cheating, and grooming me into sleeping with men. So she's having a conversation to him about what he did to her with the apple pies from the other guys.
I decided to meet a guy and I said, look, I've never done this in my life. I've never cheated. I've never laid eyes on another man when I'm with another man, but this is what my boyfriend has always wanted. And I think that he, could we do... I was so unbelievably drunk and I was also on my period. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, really?
She goes, I haven't said a word.
Wait a minute here. Did she say what I think she just said?
Could we do...
So he didn't ask you to, but you wanted to do it with another guy, yet you call this grooming into sleeping with other men? Just like I said in the beginning of this video, odd.
I've never... laid eyes on another man when I'm with another man, but this is what my boyfriend has always wanted. And I think that he, could we do... I was so unbelievably drunk and I was also on my period. And he was like, yeah, that's fine.
Damn.
And I was like, really?
She goes, I haven't said.
Knowing that she initiated, I think, changes the context of grooming, but it doesn't change the context of Larry being a piece of shit if he lied about this whole thing in order to save face. But let's go.
A word to anyone because I respect you and your business, and you decide to speak about it publicly, which makes me look bad. Larry goes, how do I make this right? Admitting that he was wrong and lying. Delete it and ask Bradley not to post about that. And in the future, just say you prefer not to say. It's our business and no one needs to know.
That's real.
For your benefit. I'm not against you, Larry. I've forgiven you and moved on. But 2 years later, you continue to disrespect me when all I want is for you to be happy and a good person. Now remember, guys, these messages are from during the time period of the first time he was on Bradley, not the second. They don't speak anymore, I don't believe. So Larry goes, which clip exactly? Can you provide a link? Is there something on my page as well? So she sent him the link and she goes, but also make sure he doesn't put it in the podcast period. And she goes, people are already messaging me saying I cheated. It's so fucked up, Larry, when that is far from the truth. I gave everything to our relationship, you know this.
And so I ended up doing this with this guy, and I remember obviously going back home and I couldn't sleep in the same bed as him that night, and I was crying, like hysterically crying, like on my sofa, because I just felt disgusting, because I felt not very consensual. It didn't feel like this is something that I wanted to do. I did it for someone else.
I guess I'll take the hit and save your ass like last time. Then he goes, I'm sorry I was put on the spot, and I should have said I prefer not to say. Even though the part I said was true, it's not the whole story, and I know it makes you look bad. I don't have any malicious intent towards you. And then she goes, Larry, after you shopped and found who you knew that I was chatting to, you said it's a cuckold's dream. So now if you guys think about that, okay, you see where Larry goes.
Okay.
Even though the part I said was true, it's not the whole story and makes you look bad. And you see how she said it's a dream? That's because he was having her do this shit to give him his sick dream. So he went on the Bradley Martin podcast that they broke up because she cheated on him. In the meantime,
that's nasty.
He wanted her to, and here he's admitting it.
And so woke up the next day and he had obviously read the messages on his phone where I told him that I'd hooked up with someone. He came downstairs kissing, hugging. I love you so much. You
did it
are
multiple
amazing.
times?
And I was like, I was feeling so much like I was feeling really shit about myself. And he was like, look, I understand if you don't want to do it again, but if you do, like, I would really want you to get video footage of it. And I was like, the fuck? Like, this is insane. Like, this man is giving me the most attention that he's ever given me in our whole entire relationship.
Then she goes, yeah, you also saw that I didn't want to marry you at the moment in time because of all the shit that was going on. It wasn't a normal relationship. He goes, I saw that you didn't want to marry me, and that was the nail in the coffin. You had every reason not to. I was a mess. Yeah, you were a big mess. Think about all that messes you were doing down there with the apple pies. She doesn't want to marry your ass, you sick f***. Then she goes, have you changed? He says, with the help of my fiance, yes. She says, smack in the face, Larry. I helped you first. Don't forget that. But good. I just built you up to be better for the next girl.
Damn. Yes, the chick agreed to being there. Yes, the chick agreed to whatever his sick fantasy was, right? Like, and I think of it like, let's say I was in a relationship with a lovely young lady and she liked to watch me eat shit, like literal turd, like it was a sick ass fantasy. I don't care what degree of grooming, if you want to call it that, or manipulation, right? Like, it's not something that I would ever do, right? Like, so when I listen to all of this, I think that she's less of a victim than what the text message reads, but absolutely, she's more so in the right here. And also, I will say, Larry is very lucky that none of this turned into a lawsuit. Sounds like she went her separate way. It could have at least been a defamation lawsuit, depending upon if it actually got taken out of the clip and the video. And it can get taken out of the video, by the way, on YouTube. A lot of people don't realize this. You can go back and cut certain things out of already posted YouTube videos or podcasts. But damn, the slap in the face to say that I've changed through help of my fiance after this one tried at least to protect your image as much as what she could. I don't know how he could think that that's a good idea, but again, his brain is clouded with performance enhancers.
He goes, not what I intended. I can have Bradley remove the clip of me speaking about you for damage control. It's possible, hell, be open to removing the episode entirely. Yeah, I mean, it would be great if he can remove the clip and the podcast, but I doubt he would. I'll see what I can do right now. If I get any more messages, we might have to do a video or you do a video or something. It's just unfair. Then Larry goes, if we speak about it more, it's only going to create more unwanted attention to both of us about that. And we know when he's saying about that, exactly what he's referring to. And something I'm going to mention about that, okay? And I'm not going to mention girls' names, okay? I'm just going to say girls. That they didn't want to do that shit with the other men. And you know what they had to do it? They had to get blacked out drunk where they can't remember shit the next day in order to please this asshole. So when he's saying
that could also be a lawsuit.
He doesn't want attention to both of us about that, he doesn't want all the details of this shit coming out. So by reading these messages, okay, we caught Larry, the piece of shit, lying again 2 times. One about saying she was a cheater when he wanted her to cheat, the sick fuck. And then secondly, more proof that he loves that cuckold shit, that he's been trying to say I'm a liar everywhere he goes on all the podcasts, because how many times is it gonna take for me to catch you in lies before you learn to tell the truth? Because I said, people don't care about the truth no matter how bad it is. But you know what they do care about? Is if you're a fucking liar. So like I said many times, admit the truth, stop lying, because nobody cares about your apple pie fantasy with the other guys you ask.
Oftentimes, when someone's struggling with addiction like mine, we tend to hide it. That's the most common behavior amongst addicts. Like, you just are ashamed of your behavior, you're guilty, you don't want to tell anybody because you're in your fear of getting mocked. Or you're afraid of hurting somebody, but when really, by hiding it, you're hurting them more than if you just be transparent and tell them what your struggle is.
And there it is. But what I was saying earlier, and I didn't want to stop it, is that she can go back later and say that it was grape for Larry or the other guy because there was alcohol involved, right? Like if she wakes up in the morning and she's regretting it that much, and regret should never be grape. But at the same time, when you put alcohol on top of that, it muddies the water, grays the black and white enough where it could have some legs to stand on, and Larry could have ended up in handcuffs. Highly risky behavior brought on by a chemically different or changed brain. And, you know, it's the lack of control that the drugs introduce when you change that brain chemistry, right? That lack of control means that you're going to prioritize your impulse as opposed to being disciplined within the way that you move. And if you move like that, and if you lie on top of that, something's going to catch up to you. Something is going to inevitably surface. And it's not if, it'll be when, especially if you're a public figure like Larry Wheels is. And it is especially risky if you are a guy and of a guy that got some money in the bank account, because your bad or risky decisions and another person who at the time seems to be actively or willingly participating in something, they feel bad about it later, and she's a woman, and right, and there's some type of assault allegation within that, then you cooked, baby. Accountability goes completely out the window on her side, and you will get no sympathy for it. So I say all that to say it is just as important of the substances, the physical substances that you are putting into your body to live a worthwhile life, as it is to make sure that you put fantastic information into your mind to live a worthwhile life. So before you put anything up into your mind or your mental, make sure you know the ramifications, especially the long-term ramifications, because we see Larry suffering through that right now. But all right, guys, that's all my thoughts and comments on this one. Let me know what you think down up in the comment box down below. And if anything, I will see you guys very soon. Until next time, peace.
You is ratchet as they come. Rainbow weaves and batwing lashes, weighing more than a man. What time is your football practice? I bet you can hit that A-gift like a mug. How you big back and said a man must buy you gifts. Where here goes a Fitbit tracker. Are you mad? Cause you got 3 kids by 4 different dads. You pick cookies, then you bash. Oh man, when you get sad.